right, so I have a really fun class planned for today. So you have to have fun. We are going to work on handstands throughout class and handstand prep. And we're at an advantage because we have no walls. So oftentimes we might practice handstand and become dependent on the wall, and you never know if you might be able to get into it without the wall. So it takes a whole different mentality and a whole different knowing in your body when you don't have the wall there. So yeah, we'll kind of sprinkle in a lot of things throughout class that help us create the awareness we need in our body to get up into a handstand. And we're going to do a lot of different kind of handstand prep stuff. So some of this will help you in your jump forwards. If you jump forward during sun salutations, it creates, oh, and we'll also be doing some arm balancing to create that core connection, okay? So all interrelated. So we're gonna actually start on our backs today. So go ahead and extend your legs long, lay down, bring your arms alongside your body. And let's take 2 open mouth exhales here. So inhale, fill all the way up. Just big open mouth exhale, let it all go. And just do one more like that. Now, close the lips, start inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So this is our opportunity in our yoga class before we begin to move our body, just to connect to our breath, settle into our space, deepen our inhales and exhales. And begin to find your Ujjayi breath. So now the breath becomes audible. We gently constrict through the back of the throat. And we really start to regulate the length of the inhale and the exhale and the quality of it. It's a real conscientious breath. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last full inhale and exhale. Stay connected to this breath as we begin to move the body. So from here, keep that left leg extended on your mat, pull your right knee into your chest, interlace hands around the knee, pull the knee around the ribs and up toward the shoulder, elbows stay in. Hips and shoulders stay flat to the floor. Find a deep compression in your right hip. Get really active in all 10 toes, flexing them back toward both knees. And relax the grip on the knee, bring it back towards center. Extend your right leg up toward the sky. Walk the hands up the back of your leg. Point and flex your right foot. Maybe do some circles with your right ankle. From here, begin to bring your forehead toward your right knee. So we're just going to have a little activation in the core here. And then option to lift that left leg off the floor. Really engage through your quads and stay nice and tight through your abdominals. And release. And extend that right leg long on the mat. Pull the left knee into the chest, interlace hands around the knee. Pull the knee around the ribs, up toward the shoulder, elbows stay in. Hips and shoulders flat to the floor. All 10 toes flexing back toward both knees. Deep compression in your left hip. And relax the grip on the knee, bring it back towards center, extend that left leg up toward the sky. Walk the hands up the back of the leg. And again, flex and point that foot, maybe some circles for the ankle. Lift your forehead towards your knee. Maybe lift that right leg off the floor. Get really strong and active through your quads. Engage through your core. And release, pull that left knee back in toward the chest. Bring the right knee to meet it. Bring toes, heels, and knees side by side, reaching opposite hand toward opposite wrist or elbow. Deep compression for both of the hips now. Start to press low back down toward the floor, and try and keep your shoulders on the floor too. So we're working toward a flat back, long spine, long neck. Relax the grip on the knees, and then just keep the knees together and bring them to the right for a spinal twist. You can extend your arms however you'd like, and then look in the opposite direction of the knees. Full belly breath here. And come back through center. Knees to the left, gaze to the right. Deep belly breath here. Come back through the center. Roll the length of the spine 3 times. Little massage for your spinal cord. Little control in the core. Last time. Come through, tabletop position. Stack your joints, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, tops of the feet flat to the floor. 3 rounds of cat-cow at your own pace. Inhale, coming into cow pose. Exhale, rounding into cat pose. Inhale, cow. Take the entire length of the inhale to make that movement, and the entire length of the exhale to transition into cat. 1 more round. Come back to tabletop position. We're going to take puppy pose to stretch out through the shoulders. So keep your hips stacked over your knees and start to walk your hands forward and out to the outer edges of your mat. Release your forehead down toward the floor and keep pressing your chest down toward the floor as well. So you're going to get a deep, deep stretch in the back of your shoulders. Take a big breath here. Walk your hands back up to tabletop position. And from here, tuck all 10 toes under. Come into downward facing dog, releasing the heels down toward the mat. Hips reaching up. Neck is nice and long and loose. Continue your deep Ujjayi breathing. Watching your heels disappear behind your toes. Pressing into the finger pads, engaging through your forearms. Take 1 more full breath in downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Now come high up onto your tippy toes and look toward your hands, and on your tippy toes, walk as much as you can with straight legs toward the front of your mat. You're really gonna have to engage your core. It's okay if you have to bend your legs. Stay up on your tippy toes if you can. You can come up on the finger pads, hold here. As we exhale, release the heels down onto the mat, and then lift your toes and slide your hands underneath your feet. Fingers are gonna be, you're gonna be resting your feet in your palms, and your fingertips are gonna be pointing toward your heels for gorilla pose. So start to draw the elbows off to the left, head down toward the floor. You can just take your toes and kind of massage out your palms and your wrists. So we really wanna warm up our wrists today for handstanding. One more full breath in gorilla pose. Just opening through the hamstrings, working towards straight legs if possible, spiraling the inner thighs in and back toward the back of the mat. And release. Just give the wrists a little bit of a roll here. And on the inhale, come up to monkey pose, halfway lift, nice long spine reaching through the crown of the head, and then exhale, come back into forward fold. On the next inhale, rise all the way up to tall mountain. Release your hands, release your index fingers for arrow mudra. Reach up through the fingertips and then side bend to the right. Keep that core nice and engaged, shoulders in line with the hip. Good, quads are nice and tight. Head stays in line with the spine, but gaze can be wherever you'd like it. Take one more full breath here. Really tighten up through your belly. Come back through center. So big side stretch. Exhale to the other side. Right hip in line with right shoulder. Quads are engaged. Draw the belly button back toward the spine. Keep the head in line with the spine. Take one more full breath here. Squeeze the palms of the hands towards one another. Come all the way back through center. And find a back bend here. So start to lift through the chest, but keep the biceps by the ears. So it might not be very deep. Start to lift the gaze. Really reach the fingertips up and back, stretching through the shoulders, opening up through the chest and the heart. And come back through center. Keep the arms as they are, hinging at the hips, coming all the way forward. A strong spine and release. Plant your hands on the floor, step back to plank pose. Align the shoulders directly over the wrists, spread the fingers wide, middle finger pointing toward the front of the mat. Press back through the heels. Draw the belly button back toward the spine, engage through the quads. Use your legs to assist you in holding plank pose. Take one more inhale here, and on the exhale, shift forward. Keep the elbows in and slowly lower all the way down onto your mat. Let's take another shoulder stretch here. So bring your right arm to the right, keep your left hand where it is. Left leg is gonna come up and over. Keep your right ear on the floor. Take one full breath here. Come back through center, extend your left arm to the left, right hand underneath right shoulder, right leg up and over, stamping to the floor, right, left ears on the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Come back through center. Bring both hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, cobra pose. Draw the elbows back and in. Lift through the crown of the head. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Lift the hands off the floor for 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. Tuck all 10 toes under. Press up through tabletop or plank position. And then come back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lift that right leg high, open the hip, bend the leg. Keep lifting the knee and releasing the toes toward the floor. Right shoulder stays in line with left shoulder. Inhale, straighten out that leg, square off the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, step through. Release that left knee down onto the floor. Lift both arms up overhead. Find arrow mudra again above the head. And then find a back bend here. So start to lift the chest, draw a line across the sky, reaching back toward the back of your mat, sinking into your hips. Take one more full breath here. And release. Hands to the floor. Tuck the toes under, lift the knee off the mat. Find a little pop here. We're gonna come into standing splits pose. So lifting that left leg off the floor. Keep 2 hips in one line. So your 5 toes of your left foot are pointing down toward the mat. Your head is hanging really heavy, so your gaze is back at the back of the mat. Lift that left leg a little bit higher using your hamstring, and then exhale, bring left knee behind, right, squat down. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat down. Last time, inhale, extend. Exhale, squat down. So finding that power in the quadricep, extend back to standing splits and then step back to low lunge. Okay, look past your toes. Bring your left foot to meet your right. Stay low in your hips, touching the floor. And then from here, as low as you can stay, lift your arms up. So we're in a nice deep chair pose. Make sure that the heels are in line with the toes and take the weight back into the heels so that you can wiggle your toes. Make sure you can see your toes. Take one more full breath here. And then we're gonna bring our hands to our heart and come up to Tadasana. So just press up to standing nice and strong. Inhale, tall mountain, reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, swan dive. Come down with a nice long spine, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands. Inhale, step back, plank pose. And this time on the exhale, lower chaturanga, coming halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, take that left leg high, open the hip, bend the leg. Let the foot hang toward the floor, but lift the knee up toward the sky. Left shoulder stays in line with the right shoulder. Straighten out the legs, square off the hip, and then knee to nose step through. Back knee to the floor, Anjaneyasana on this side. So bring your hands up, interlace your fingers. Take the opposite grip so the other thumb is on top, the uncomfortable side, and then find a back bend on this side. As we lift through the chest and lean back, sink into the hips as much as possible. Last inhale. Exhale, release. Lift that knee back up off the floor and find a little pop here. Come forward, standing split. Look at your toes on your right foot. Make sure all 5 of them are pointing down. This will help you square your hips. Really get tight through the quadricep, and then use your hamstring, the back of your leg, to lift a little bit higher. Good. And then squat down. So right knee behind left, tuck it into a tight ball, and then extend. And squat. Extend. And squat. Extend, and then step back to low lunge. Stay low in your left leg, and then right foot meets left. Hands reach up for Utkatasana chair pose. Take another full breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hands to heart, stand up. Exhale, release your hands down for mountain pose. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, come down. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga on your exhale. Step or float back, lower halfway or all the way down. Upward facing dog or cobra on your inhale. Downward facing dog on your exhale. We're gonna do 3 more rounds of sun salutation at a bit of a quicker pace. So on your next inhale, step or float forward to the front of your mat. Forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, tall mountain rise up. And on your exhale, straight back to forward fold. Monkey inhale. Chaturanga exhale. Up dog inhale. Down dog exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come forward on your inhale and forward fold on your exhale. Rise high, tall mountain inhale. Exhale, forward fold at your own pace with your own breath. You know where you're going here. Inhale, monkey. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Full breath here. One more round on your own.
On your next inhale, take that left leg, lift it up. Now, keep that left leg nice and strong, extended straight, and then lift your right heel off the floor. Good. Take a little bend to your right knee. Look toward your hands now. We're gonna hop that right foot 3 times toward the hands. So 1, you don't have to get a lot of height, but utilize your core. 3, hold here in standing splits, and then step lightly back to low lunge. On the next inhale, rise up to crescent lunge. Okay, so we're just gonna work on finding a lot of power and momentum in our legs. So on your next exhale, come all the way forward to airplane pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step back to airplane lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane pose. Inhale, airplane. Exhale, airplane lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane pose. Inhale here. Another exhale here. Inhale, standing staff. So come all the way through. Extend your arms up, maybe extend your legs straight. And then exhale, airplane pose. So hinge forward, sweep your arms as you come back. Inhale here. Exhale, crescent or airplane lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior 2. Good. So building a lot of heat in that right quadricep. Hold here, nice steady hold, gazing out across your front fingertips, drawing that tailbone down, sinking low in the front knee, pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Take one more full breath. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And this time exhale, standing straddle splits, heels behind your toes, come all the way down. Okay, from here, walk your feet back to the back edges of your mat. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Good. Bring your shoulders right over your wrists. So find your 3 body locks. So start with your root lock, Mula Bandha. Then engage your Uddiyana Bandha, your abdominal locks. So pulling the belly button back toward your spine. And then we're gonna start to come up onto the toes. Get really high. Keep your shoulders right over your wrists. And maybe lift your toes off the floor. I can't, but I can find the engagement in my core that I need to someday make it happen. So just imagine yourself floating and then come all the way back down. Really nice, guys. From here, just bring your feet back up onto your mat. Toes out at an angle. Inhale, come all the way up. 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, low lunge. Step back plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do that sequence on the other side and then we'll take a little break. So extend your left leg up and back. Really reach through the ball of that foot. Engage through the quad. Lift your right heel off the floor. Look at your hands now. Bend that right leg slightly and then hop a couple times toward the front of your mat. You don't need to hop into a handstand. Just get that momentum on your leg and then come into standing splits. Lift that left leg nice and high and then lightly step back, low lunge. Inhale, come up to crescent lunge. Okay, now with control, but really find the power in your legs from crescent to airplane. Work with the breath. Inhale in airplane, exhale to airplane lunge. Inhale to crescent, and of course you can take it at your own pace. I don't want you to rush through the movements. Exhale, airplane. Take an inhale in airplane. Exhale, airplane lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, airplane. This time, inhale and exhale here. Inhale, come up to standing staff. See if you can keep that foot lifted off the floor. Extend your arms up overhead. Extend your left leg forward. And then exhale all the way back to airplane. Take an inhale. Exhale, airplane lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, are we on the same side?
I switched because I wasn't sure.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm like, I'm looking at you again. You always need to correct me if I'm on the wrong side because I get those mixed up. Take another full breath here. And then inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. One more time, inhale, and then come into Prasarita. Padottanasana, come all the way forward, and this time just hang. 2 more breaths. Come all the way up, 5-pointed star. Warrior two. Reverse. Low lunge. Step back plank. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Walk your feet about 1 foot forward, about 1 footprint forward. Lift both heels off the floor. Look past your hands and then rock your shoulders over your wrists. Just coming forward here. Okay, now start to bend your knees. Little momentum here. Now, we're gonna jump through our hands. So just prepare yourself. We'll just see what happens. Maybe cross your ankles as you come through. There you go, Spencer, nice. Nice, you were close, good, awesome. All right, go ahead and grab a sip. Really good, nice jump through. Yeah, if you ever think, we just did this, you should always say something.
I always doubt myself. I'm like, nah, I must have been.
All right, do a little bit of core work here, and then we'll come back to our standing sequence. So first I want to find a really high boat pose. So go ahead and bring your legs out in front of you. And if you have a strap or need a strap, you can use a strap, or you can use your peace fingers around your big toes if you have pretty flexible hamstrings. So your choice. We're gonna wrap those peace fingers around the big toes, just rock back a little so the heels come off the floor, and then start to extend your legs up. Good. So with these extended legs, start to draw the chest toward the toes and get your legs pretty high. It's hard for us to do this without the assistance of a strap or our hands to get this kind of height. Some people can do it, but it's not that easy to get there. Just take one more breath with the support of your hands or your strap. Then if you're holding onto your strap or your toes, let go and see if you can keep your legs at that height. Good. It's pretty high boat pose, really challenging. Good stuff. Now, from here, go ahead and cross your ankles right over left, bring your hands to the floor, and see if you can lift your hips off the floor. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Good, come back to boat. See if you can get it nice and high. And then switch sides, so left ankle over right. Lift your hips off the floor for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna do that one more time on each side. So just boat pose, right over left, lift, 3, 2, 1. Boat pose, left over right, and lift for 3, 2, 1. Good. I didn't hear anyone breathing. I don't think I was breathing.
I don't even know where to They're so just weak.
Okay, I'm gonna do some more core work similar to what we did at the beginning of class, but we're just gonna ramp it up a little bit. So come down onto your back. Extend your left leg long. Bring your right leg up toward the sky. Walk your hands up the back of your leg. Bring your forehead to your knee. Lift your left leg off the floor. Good, then extend your arms toward your toes. Hold here, little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. You're gonna hold onto your leg, bring your forehead toward your knee, so get as high up as you can, and then extend your arms and pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch, switch, switch. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh geez, pull them in. Big breath. Another breath. Okay, roll up to a seat. All right, so we're gonna do a little jumping. It's gonna get your heart rate up, so we'll take lots of breaks. And we're gonna do 2 variations of jumping. This is gonna help you on your jump forwards. Eventually, maybe you jump into handstand, okay? People can do that. Not me, but people can. So we'll figure it out. Maybe you will. Put you up here on camera. All right, so the first thing I wanna emphasize when we're jumping and eventually handstanding is before you do anything, before you start kicking those feet up, get your shoulders over your wrists. So I've already said that several times throughout class, okay? Because look what happens when I try and kick up into a handstand from a downward dog and I don't get my shoulders over my wrists. How high am I gonna get? Not very high. But when I place my shoulders over my wrists, I'm a lot closer, okay, to getting up. So, I mean, you can see it, right, when you watch it. It's the biggest cue that you can use, or the biggest little tip that is gonna help you. So we're gonna do that in jumping too. So in jumping, let me just show you the 2 jumps that we're gonna do, and then I'll talk you through them. So same thing, we're gonna do froggy jumps first. You're gonna get your shoulders over your wrists, walk your feet forward. See, look what happens there already. Okay, you'll keep your toes and heels touching. You're gonna bring your knees wide. It's gonna give you a little more momentum, kind of a fun way to jump. And then you'll just jump, get those hips as close over the shoulders as you can. Okay, so we'll take some of those jumps, we'll rest. And then the second jump we're gonna do is with the legs together. Again, you'll walk your feet up. Maybe one will be easier for you than the other, okay? So we'll experiment with both. Come into, actually real quick, do a wrist stretch, because I can already feel it immediately. So right hand first, just take your thumb, press it toward your forearm, and just go at your own pace. First finger, index finger, middle finger. All my knuckles are popping. Ring finger, pinky. Good. Make a little fist. Other side. Thumb, index. Okay. Little circles. Okay, come on to tabletop real quick. Fingers pointing forward, shoulders over wrists. Now just press your shoulders forward. Rock them forward. Okay, flip your hands. This will probably be your deepest wrist stretch. Fingers pointing towards your knees, and then rock it back. That feels really good. Okay, this one might not feel as good, so be super gentle, but we want to stretch the outside. So bring the tops of your hands, fingers pointing toward each other. Good. So not too much weight, because you don't want it to feel uncomfortable. Back and forth. It's a nice stretch for the tops of your forearms. Good. All right, let's jump. So come into downward facing dog. Bring your toes and heels to touch. Walk your feet about 1 footprint forward. Shoulders come over wrists. Okay, keep your toes and heels together, knees wide, and start to hop. Good. Key to look past your hands instead of back at your feet. There you go, Spencer, nice height. Good. We can try and keep your toes, good, nice, exactly. That's what I want to see. All right. Nice work, guys. Maybe one more and then come into child's pose. Nice, Spencer. Awesome. Good, Wakenda. Just rest your arms down alongside your body, forehead to the floor. Take a couple breaths here. All right. Let's do it again. This time we'll do the other variation. So come back into down dog. Walk your feet forward about 1 foot. Shoulders over wrists. This time the knees stay together. Toes and heels stay together. Squat back and jump. There you go. Good. We're going to kick your heels to your hips. I didn't say that cue. That's the other key. Kick your heels to your hips. Nice. Good. A couple more, and when you're done, you're done. You want to just take a child's pose. Getting that heart rate up. So Spencer, you're getting the hang time. Keep your squat first, and then from the squat start to extend instead of kicking the legs. So when you come up, okay, instead of the kick. Oh, I'm like, I'm not coming down because I never get hang time. That's awesome. Like, this is fun and balanced. There you go. Good. Nice. Yeah, we're going to do that also. And yes, if you'd like to try that, though, you're welcome to. That's the next phase. But now use these same tips and techniques and see how you feel when you jump forward. Okay, so we'll practice jumping forward. A lot of times when people are just trying to practice it in class but haven't really learned it, there is a lot of that, like I said, from down dog without getting those shoulders forward. They're just jumping like that. I mean, how hard does that look, right? So you want to get in your jump forward as well. You want to get those shoulders over your wrists. My jump forward isn't great, but so you can get a little more of the floating action. And then of course the key is engage that core and lift. Mula Bandha, your root lock, pull up on the pelvic floor, engage through your core, get your hips high, and then land gently between your feet. And I can't do it or demo, but people who are really strong in that way can jump forward
and float their legs up and then down between their hands. So maybe someday, right? So just practice your jump forward a couple times and see how it feels, maybe once or twice, and then try and jump through like we did before we practiced this. See if it's any different, because it's the same techniques. Good, nice light landing. Good, nice. There you go, good. Now when you jump through, you're gonna look past your hands, take a little cross of your ankles as they come toward your wrists. There you go, yep. You can even take your hands a little bit wider and get those toes all the way crossed. Nice, you did it. Awesome, good job. Okay, so let's come back into downward facing dog. All right, come back to your yoga breath. One more full breath here in down dog. All right, take your right leg high, inhale, step through low lunge, exhale. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, half moon. Balance here. Two more breaths. Okay, on your inhale, come through to standing staff pose. Take your hands and circle your left knee. Pull your knee off to the left and up toward your shoulder, just like we did in the beginning of class when we were on our back. Stay nice and upright, shoulders and hips open to the front of your mat. Cross your left ankle over your right knee for standing pigeon pose, hands to your heart. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders lowered away from your ears. All right, bring your left foot to meet your right. Continue to sink down. Come all the way down to your hands, come onto the mat. Lift your knees high up on the backs of your arms and start to lift your feet off the floor for crow pose. Release your feet to the floor. Come into standing forward fold. And just wiggle out your legs. Let your neck be nice and long and loose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Okay, this is supposed to be the same leg, so take your right leg high, and you're gonna step through to a shorter stance. Okay, so behind your hands, not between your hands. Good. Now, walk your left foot forward a little bit, shoulders over the wrists, and then we're gonna start to just take little hops. Now, as you hop toward handstand, you can make any adjustments so you're a little more comfortable for your kick. As you jump toward handstand, it's a lot easier than kicking with straight legs
to keep that bottom leg bent in. So like this, Spencer, when you come up, you're gonna kick with this leg, but keep this leg in. As opposed to kicking with two straight legs, okay? There you go, there you go, there you go. Nice. Good. There you go. Nice. Good. Nice hang time, guys. Maybe one more and then a child's pose and you can rest your wrists. Good. And then of course we'll get to do this on the other side and you'll get to see how one side's different than the other. And just rest here. All right, come back to downward facing dog. This is our last side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, half moon. Stack those hips and shoulders. Flex the right toes back toward the face. Keep the head in line with the spine. One more breath. Standing staff. Take your hands around your right knee. Knee comes off to the right and then up toward the shoulder. Keep the chest lifted. Reaching up through the crown of the head. Right ankle over left knee. Standing pigeon pose, hands to heart. Sink down. Right foot meets left. Sink down, place your hands on the floor. Short crow. You can jump back if you want. For 3, 2, 1. Back to down dog. Okay, this is gonna be the same leg. Left leg lift, step through shorter stance. So left foot behind your wrists. Get those shoulders over the wrists. Start to kick that right foot off the floor, looking past your hands. Keep that left foot, left heel kicking in toward your hip. Then maybe once you get some hang time, you can extend that left leg long. Good, that looks like your stronger side, Spencer.
First couple are always strong.
They just get weaker as they go. And a couple more when you're ready, child's pose though. There you go. Nice. Okay, come back to downward dog. Promise we're on the downhill slide here. Take the right leg high, half pigeon on the right side. Extend through the crown of the head and then release. Go ahead and come up onto the hands, step back, and then switch sides. Half pigeon on the left side. Come back up onto the hands, step back, and then come through to a seat and onto your back. Go ahead and separate your feet to about mat distance apart. Bring your arms to goalpost, and then release your knees to the right. If you want to, you can stack that right ankle on top of the left knee. Just keep those shoulders flat to the floor. Come back through center and release your knees in the opposite direction. And come back through center, knees into the chest. Making your way to Shavasana. You have a cool towel on your mat if you'd like to use it. Move around and get yourself comfortable. Let your legs extend long and your feet fall open. Arms resting down by the side, palms facing up. Just start to scan the body starting from your toes. Relaxing each part of your body as you move up through the legs, the hips. Soften the belly as you breathe.
Relax the shoulders. Fingers are nice and loose. And soften through your face, relax your jaw. Relax your forehead. Start to deepen into the breath. And slowly start to awaken the body. Wiggling the fingers and the toes, rolling the wrists and the ankles. Coming into a full body stretch. When you're ready, making your way onto your side. And take this final moment here on your mat to acknowledge your practice. Maybe setting an intention to take this fun and adventurous spirit with you off your mat and into your day, just being open to whatever is ahead of you today. And bring your hands to your heart. Sit up tall. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace in your heart. Namaste.